everybody. We are back, and this time I am joined by travel specialist guru Megan from One Encompass Travel. So we're going to talk about some trip planning, specifically her own trip planning. So Megan, want to introduce yourself to everyone, and then we'll jump in.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Megan. I've been with Wand and Compass for a little over 2 years. I think Callie and I joined right at the same time. So we've both been here for about that time frame. Um, my family is a family of four. I have two boys and a husband who is more of a Disney husband than I am a Disney wife. And we are starting our cruise guru. We are getting into our cruise life. My kids have decided that that's what they like. And they also like their park days. So we're doing a little of both. So I'm excited to talk about how I personally am planning my trips.
Awesome. So you're going. So tell me, you're going to do land and sea. Tell me which one you're doing
Yes.
first and when you're going.
So we decided this time to do sea first and then do land. And that just kind of worked out for our personal calendar. Previously, we did land and then sea, and it really adds a layer to your vacation because you have the rush of the park days, you have go, go, go. And then the second you step on that cruise ship, it is like baseline relaxation. Totally worth it. So we're excited to see what we're going to do the opposite this time around. I will say though, my children the first time we got to the beach and they were like, "We're doing just the beach." I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And they're like, "So this is the beach." I said, "Yep." So, we're excited to kind of flip it and see how they do going the opposite way. But yeah, we're leaving August 14th through the 17th. This year we'll be on the Disney Wish. We previously did the Wish too. So the kids are excited that they know everything about the ship. My
Yeah, having
eight-year-old
the
is
lay of the land
very,
can make a big
yes.
difference. Yeah.
It can. I mean, we picked based on our calendar availability. We wanted to try the Dream, but it's still out of Fort Lauderdale. And we were like, that's just too much back and forth to get where we need to be. And we would have to add an extra travel day, which
Mhm.
we can't with our schedule.
Yeah.
Keeping them out for almost 10 days of a normal schedule is pretty much like that's their limit. And then they're coming right back and getting into school. So
There
we're
you go.
it's a hustle and bustle. Yeah, so we're really excited. We just booked. We got our deposit in. We are working on the payment plan option, which is why we booked. I mean, we booked right before Christmas. So we booked pretty much 9 to 10 months in advance. And we work off that payment plan. Like we put the deposit down and then every month we chip away at it until we get to final payment day. And then yeah. So where are we staying? We are Pop Century when we say for the land. It's my husband's favorite value resort.
Yeah.
I wanted a moderate resort, but he
Yeah.
won because I won the park hopper. And we took advantage of the 4 night, 2 night free promo. So we're getting
Wow.
that with our and the kids free dining. So backing the cruise into the front of it made so much sense because we were literally doing a half price vacation essentially for the first part
Well, and what's
or
so
for the
great
second
is
part. So
when you're on the cruise, you're really in an all-inclusive
yes.
situation. Your food's covered, like you
Oh,
go, if you want to buy
absolutely.
alcohol, like other special services you can pay for, but to then have the land part after, especially with the dining plan, with the kids eat free,
Yes.
you're kind of extending that almost all-inclusive vibe
Yes.
into your park
Yes.
trip too.
Which also adds a layer of, I mean, it adds a layer of planning because you want to plan out your meals. You are your sit downs, which is what we
Mhm.
do. I mean, we're meticulously already talking about what we're doing.
Yep.
Our kids are already asking to go to certain places. We're already adding certain places. We're trying to find places that we haven't tried yet for
Mhm.
land, which is very hard, but also places that maybe we haven't been in a while to
Mhm.
try and go back. The kids have their favorites though, so we're in like a four-way battle of like, all right, if we all pick one, we could probably make it work.
Yeah.
Um, Although our youngest is four, so I
You can
mean,
influence that choice.
we can also subtly influence that choice based on like, his favorite dinner, which is some form of meat and potato.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So when you're this far out, you mentioned you booked early for your cruise. You've got your hotel lined up, especially with the promotions that were offered that you
Oh
had
yeah.
to get that done on time. What are some things you mentioned talking about food, but what are some other things that this far out, what is this about 7, 8 months out?
Yeah.
What are you also kind of considering as you figure out your planning at this stage and kind of walk me through what your process will be as you get closer?
So what we are planning and what I recommend, we already have them because we traveled last year, passports.
Yeah.
Um, Passports for the cruise, they add so much. It's a level of ease once you're there. Kids can travel with their birth certificates. I would much rather have my passport. Um, we also have a kid who our youngest gets sick frequently, and I'm like, we need him and me to be able to go anywhere. But I do recommend getting them as early in advance that you can. They are it, it depends on your state. I live in Pennsylvania. We are a little quick. Some states are a little slower. So get them in and get them ready. We are also planning our flights or drive. We've cost weighed both options. Flight prices right now are a little high, which they tend to be this far out. So we never book this far out. We just kind of look to see what our options are as far as what time we would want versus, leaving versus what time coming home. I do think we're going to drive. We've
Mhm.
done it before. And with having the cruise first, we need so much more stuff.
Yes, it's a
um,
long trip.
we, it's a long trip, and just being able to we have an SUV, toss everything in the car and not have to worry about it.
Mhm.
We also are fortunate enough to live in a state that is drivable. So if we leave at dinner time the night before, we will get to the port by 10 or 11 in the morning. So we switch off driving and we sleep. The other sleeps in the car, and the kids will sleep overnight, and they'll wake up, and they love waking up and finding out that they're on vacation.
Yeah.
So we're planning that. We figured with airport transfers to Port
Mhm.
Canaveral, and then Port Canaveral to Disney property, and then Disney property back to the airport, we're spending pretty much an extra plane ticket plus having to have all of our luggage. So we're trying to cost weigh it. I think we are going to drive though. The kids are actually super excited. Some kids don't like the long car ride. My kids
Right.
are like, yes, please. I will sit here. And they love it because we stop at little places along the way, and they
Mhm.
have their favorite spots that they want to stop in. The other thing we're doing is we're thinking of any extras that we want.
Mhm.
I know Mickey's Not So Scary hasn't been released yet, but we are traveling the week of, like I said, we're leaving August 14th on our cruise. We get back the 17th, and then we're in Disney from the 17th to the 23rd. So we
You'll
could hit
probably
that
hit one.
August. Yeah, we could hit that August first week of Mickey's
Yeah.
Not So Scary. So we're talking about if we want to do that.
Mhm.
We're talking about if we want to do, we love seats and treats for
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom fireworks, and especially if Mickey's Not So Scary is happening that week, it's going to be a busy park week
Yeah.
for Magic Kingdom on the days that there isn't a party.
Right.
So we're trying to map that out if we want to do that.
Well,
We
I think
also
that brings up another point. Having the park hoppers at that time of year is key
is
because
key. It is.
with Magic Kingdom closing certain nights a week for parties, and this I would say this to everyone from August all the way through December, with the two parties back to back. You want the flexibility that if you are in Magic Kingdom in the morning when it's empty and you want to hop over to Epcot on the monorail later, you can do that. So I love that you upgraded to your park hopper for that.
It was like my sticking point. I said,
Yeah.
listen, you're winning on the hotel because we wanted to do the cruise as well. So we
Mhm.
were like, all right, how are we going to make it in our vacation budget to
Mhm.
be able to do both? Because the kids have been asking to do both. And we want to do both. Kids Club is a very real thing on the Disney cruise. My
Mhm.
kids loved it. And it gives parents the option to be able to go do something and feel like an adult. I mean, we did adult trivia in
Mhm.
one of the little lounges, and we sat there for an hour and a half and just left. And we met people along the way who, their kids were also in kids club, and we all sat and had drinks and we combined teams. And it just adds a layer of, you also get to feel like you're by yourselves in an all inclusive.
Yeah.
Um, so the kids have been begging to go for kids clubs. So, but with being able to win the battle for Park Hopper, I was like, all right, you can choose the resort. It's fine.
And Pop is
And
not a board and not a bad choice. Not at
it's
all.
not, because
Mhm.
we have the Skyliner, we have the buses.
Mhm.
Location wise, it's great. We do like to be able to we utilize the Skyliner. I know some
Mhm.
people are a little nervous about the height, but we love it. We always end up jumping on it all the time when we're on Disney property because it's just so convenient. And then you can, jump off at Caribbean Beach. You can jump off at Riviera. You can
Mhm.
hop to resorts and then add that as a dining layer too. We've talked about going to Sebastian's Bistro for the first time.
Mhm.
We had family go and they loved it. We've talked about doing Topolino's, which we've done before without the kids, but actually taking them with us this time.
Mhm.
So we're really excited about our resort choice, which is he's excited about our resort choice. I'm more excited about Park Hopper, which I think will benefit us because that Mickey's Not So Scary is going to happen, I think, that first week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the first week that Southern schools are also back to school.
Mhm.
So we added a layer of low crowd possibility to our
Mhm.
vacation. And I'm really excited about that. So
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to utilize our park days really well.
That's great. So when you are, I mean, you're talking about all of the options, and I think this is something that you and I chatted about briefly. It can be really overwhelming, especially if people are not well versed in Disney trips, to figure out where do I start? What do I begin with? Like, there's all these restaurants and all these hotels and all these
Mhm.
ticket options. Where do you recommend someone who's new to Disney, new to planning Disney? What the clients that come to you and are saying, I've never done Disney. I don't know where to start. What are some of the first questions you're asking to kind of understand how to help guide them at the beginning?
So, first questions I'm asking are what is important to them and their family. So, I have clients traveling right now. Their sit down meals were the most important thing.
Mhm.
They would like to meet characters, do a couple of rides, and see parades. They are not there to do every single ride in every park all the time, but they are there to eat and they are there to eat well. So they did get dining plan. And I, steered them into the direction of my favorite restaurants and my favorite character meals. And I kind of let her choose from the list. And then I have clients that like rides are their most important thing on the face of the earth. So, and I always talk to clients with like my kids' same age ranges where they're thrill seekers. They are, if your kid is a thrill seeker, then I want to get you on as many rides as I can, which means, within your budget possibility, we're going to maybe sit at a value moderate resort level, but we're going to be able to get you on everything that you want because we're going to lightning lane or we're going to upgrade to, a VIP experience and we're going to be able to get them on as many rides as possible. I like to pick their brains about what's important to them personally. I know kids have a little bit of, thrill seekers or they want snacks or they want to meet every character, where parents might want to mosey around Epcot, or they might want to, have a day where they're Star Wars fans and they want to all encompass Hollywood studios. So
Mhm.
I try and pick their brains to be able to steer them in one direction or the other. Um, I also, if you love the pool, maybe we're going for deluxe resort and we're getting you the best pool option. Which, let's be real, their pools are really good.
Yes.
They have the water slides, which is important for some kids. So I try and pick their brains
Hmm.
first, and then kind of pare down my information level from there. I also have clients who they want every bit of information up front because they want to read through it, they want to see it, and they want to be able to know every single thing that I do. And then I have clients who are like, I just need a price. I need
Yes.
a price, I need dates, and that's all I care about. So I it's a big Disney is an investment.
Mhm.
It's a vacation investment. You are vacations, no matter where you go, are a lot of money for some
Mhm.
people. And being able to get the best deal with Disney requires a little bit of flexibility. It
Yeah.
requires a little bit of like, planning, which is what we're here for. And that's what I
Mhm.
tell people. Like, I'm here to get you a deal. Um, I'm also here to overwhelm you with information. So that way, the second you step off the plane, the second you step into Disney property, whether you're checking into a resort first, you're doing a water park day or a park day, you are on vacation. You have
Yes.
nothing to worry about. You are done.
Mhm.
It's like girl math. You're everything is done, everything is paid for. We handled it all. So that way, when you get there, you can just enjoy. And that's one of the things that I try and tell clients with like selling them on a certain promo or a certain
Mhm.
package is you're paying a little. Disney's a premium, let's be real.
Mhm.
Um, but you're paying for that next level experience. You're
Yeah.
paying for the second you get on, you don't have to worry about where you're going to eat. It's already done. You
Mhm.
don't have to worry about, what park you're going to go to for the day because we already lined up your lightning lanes. We already lined up your park hopper. Everything is done. You just get to be in the moment with your kids,
Mhm.
um, and enjoy them.
I was just having this conversation with a friend recently about how you get into such decision fatigue as a parent,
Yes.
where every day you're making decisions on behalf of a lot of people constantly. Even the question of like, what should we have for dinner? There's points where you're like, I can't make
Yes.
one more decision. And that is what's so nice about planning that is done well. You remove decision fatigue when you're there. And that's, I think, why people go to Disney, adults go to Disney and feel like, oh, it feels like a weight's been lifted. You're not having
Yes.
to entertain your kids, they're entertained. You're not figuring out if the food allergy is going to be okay here because they're going to ask and they're going to make sure that it's okay. You're
Yes.
not going to worry about parking because you don't need to because you've got free transportation. So I do think that there's something to be said for when you plan well, based on what it is that is important to you, like you said, the trip will be magic. And that's the
Yes.
goal, really.
And that is the goal. And I say this all the time. Your kids will enjoy you so much in Disney. They will have the best time and they
Yes.
will meet every character, but you watching them be so happy,
Hmm.
it's the
Yeah.
goal.
And they see
Um,
you so happy, which is like a different way of seeing
yes,
mom or dad or whoever is around with them, which is, I think, part of what makes. I remember my daughter made a comment once after one of our trips. She was like, "It just felt like every day was a yes day," and I was like,
yes,
"Oh, I wish I could make every day at home feel like a yes day, but that's not reality. I understand that, but it
it's
was such a
not.
pure statement, and I'm like, that's it. I felt like a yes day for me too. I mean, it was,
Yes.
yeah,
And that's important. And I feel like in our world where it's a hustle and a bustle and it's work and sports and like you said figuring out what's for dinner and the grocery store and appointments, it's decision fatigue every single day
hmm,
that when you get to have that time, whether it's in Disney at an all-inclusive on a cruise ship,
hmm,
you are enjoying each other, and I feel like it's worth it.
yeah,
um I've said like I will spend any amount of money as long as I get to spend time with my kids
hmm,
and enjoy them while they still, they're going to be teenagers soon. Teenagers don't like parents, but like, I want to enjoy them while I still can. And I
yeah,
want them to have all the core memories to grow up with that will remind them as adults to also carry this on.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and then when they're parents, they will bring us back as
yes,
grandparents on
yes,
their Disney trip. Like
I
that's what we're
can't wait.
doing this for, right?
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to like, oh, daddy said no. Okay, come on. I take
Yeah.
you.
Oh, that's going to be a whole nother. See, there's things to look forward to at every stage.
Yes.
I thank you for sharing your planning with everyone. I think that we're
Yeah.
going to have to talk after your trip and just talk about how it all went because you've got a lot
Oh,
that you're going to do.
can't
And
wait.
by then, I'm sure we'll be hearing all about Mickey's Not So Scary and all the things that might pop
Oh
up.
yeah.
But thank you for sharing. And for anyone who is looking
Yes.
for a true expert to help with planning a vacation, not just Disney, but really any vacation, talk to Megan. I'm going to have all of her contact information in the description so
Mhm.
you can email her directly. If you want to just follow her on socials to see like how was the trip, how did things go, we'll put all that in there too. But Megan, thank you for sharing your family trip with all of us. I can't wait to follow along, and I'm going to keep asking you more about it between now and your trip.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks, everybody.